Good morning all. We are up in the beautiful Sierras. I think we're around 4,500 feet, somewhere around there. Today's project is several years ago. I was in here in a hydraulic pit. That way, about a half mile I think. And when I was doing the video in that pit, I was basically doing a video on what I look for in a pit. Well, I found a section of ground that was different than everywhere else. This area right here, we have rocks with stains on them. We have gravel, almost looks like it's in place. Right here, this stains on it. This area looked really good to me. So I worked that ground with the detector, and I did pull some gold out of it. Well, today's project is I want to go back, see if I can find that spot. Number one, I want to go over it with my SDC because I originally did it with the TDI. And I want to see if the SDC will pick up some gold that the TDI missed. Number two, I want to take a sample of that gravel home with me, but I don't think that was processed. I think that's what was in the pit that they were processing, and I'm kind of curious to see what type of gold, how much fine gold and all that there is in it. And the only way we're going to do that is grab a sample, take it home and pan it out. Okay, well, what do you say we grab our gear, head over the hill, first see if we can even find the spot. Well, I've been wandering around for, I'm guessing, pretty close to an hour trying to find this spot. And then it finally dawned on me, why don't I just find it how I found it originally? So I just started looking for the larger gravel, and it pretty much led me here. I remember this rock. Once I seen that rock, I knew I had it. The spot we're looking for is right on the other side of the camera. Let me show you. Well, this is where we dug before. We were digging back in here, and the gravel changed from this gravel to just rocks and no smaller gravel. So this pile right here is what we dug out of here that we found the gold in. What we were doing is I was digging it out, metal detecting, digging it out, metal detecting. So what I want to do first is I want to hit this area with the SDC, see if I can pick up anything that my old TDI missed. We have no noise. There's basically no wind, no creek, no nothing, so we're going to run her without headphones today. Well, I just went over our tailings pile, nothing, not so much as a squeak. Now I'm going to hit some of this area, see if I turn anything up. Well, I just finished going over everything here. Well, I guess the old TDI did pretty good because not so much as a squeak. This area is clear. Okay, well, I'll grab a sample of the gravel. And then coming in here, I crossed over some spots that looked really good. So I think we're going to head back, kind of detect our way back to the Jeep. Okay, I'm going to tie this up, throw it in the pack, put everything away, and run around here for a little bit, see if we can turn anything up. Okay, on the way in, I noticed this area. There's some really nice, big, really hard, shiny rocks that are heavy. So we're gonna there's another one over here. So I'm gonna do a little detecting in this area, see if we can turn anything up. Well, we got a target right there. Actually doesn't sound bad. Let's check it. Now it's starting to sound like a nail. And we have us an old square nail. Okay, we'll check it before we bury it up. Moving on. Well, I got 3 more nails out of here, but it looks really good going on up this gully. So I think we're going to detect on up here, see if we can find anything. If I find anything worth a darn, I'll turn the camera back on. Well, now I got a bit of a dilemma. You guys need to let me know when I take my hat off and set it down. I went to put the hat on and I don't have it. I left it back there somewhere, so I'll be back in a few. I got to go get my hat. Got my hat back, and yeah, I did set it on a rock back there. This spot right in here kind of drew my eye because this looks like bedrock. I mean, it's in place here, but it's disintegrating. So it looks like they washed this down to bedrock. Now, whether or not they dug the bedrock off of here, I don't know. But I think we're gonna hit this spot right here, see if there's anything caught in this old bedrock. Now, I don't know if you can hear that, but we have a light target right here. I've got to quit leaving stuff. I left my digging tool over by the pack. Okay, right here. Well, let's just scrape it off my hand. See if it's something on the surface. Actually sounds good. Let me go grab the digging tool. Yep, little piece of lead. Little tiny piece of lead. Darn, I thought we had a piece of gold for sure on that one. Okay, moving on. Well, I got another target right here. Probably more of that leg because it's a really faint target also. Sounds a lot like the last target. I can't see anything. Oh, we got us a little tiny piece of gold. Pretty small, but we got a piece of gold. Let me show you. Right there you can see, it's pretty tiny, but it's a piece of gold. Okay, well I'm gonna put this in the bottle before I drop it, because if I drop it, it's gonna be hard to find. And I'm gonna give this area a good going over. Here's a good lesson for you. The piece I found was extremely small, very hard to hear. And right now, I would really like to put my headphones on, but I left them in the Jeep. So, goes to show you, wear your headphones, because this would be a lot easier to pick up those really slight targets with the headphones on. Okay, well, I'm gonna give this a once over. Well, I've gone over this area, and I picked up 2 more small pieces of lead, little tiny, just like the other ones. And I'm wondering, it's kind of funny that everything is super small. My guess is somebody's already gone over this and they got the loud targets out of the way, because I have found nothing but those little tiny targets you can barely hear. Okay, well, I'm grabbing everything up. Let's keep heading towards the Jeep, see if we can find another spot to check out. Well, it's been at least an hour, and killing the square nails, but that's about it. Now I just come across this spot. This just stands out from everything else around here. So I don't know if they camped here at one time or what the reason for all this light gravel in this big level area, but I think we're going to do a little detecting here and find out. Well, I'm thinking they camped here because the ground is literally covered with metal. So what I think I'm going to do, grab the magnet, and I'm just going to pick like a 3-foot area over there in the shade. Let's clean it out and see what's in there. Okay, we got a spot here. We're just going to make a big square. Okay, we're going to get every target out of this square. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is let's just take everything off of the very top surface. All the sticks and pine needles and all that. Well, I cannot get a spot with no target, so I got some place to move the dirt to. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is we're not set up for treasure hunting today. So my plan, what I think I'm going to do is we'll come back to here on our next trip. We'll bring our classifying screen and the big magnet with the big rake, and that way we can move more dirt, get a better idea, see what's in the gravel. And I'm pretty sure they camped here because I can't put the loop down anywhere that I'm not getting a target. So if we sift the soil, we can eliminate a lot of the targets real quick, and then we can, like I did here, just pick out a square area and we'll just clean it down to where there's no targets in it. But we're not set up for that today. So, and not only that, it's way past lunchtime, hours past lunchtime, and I'm starving. So I want to get back to the Jeep. Okay, well, I'm going to pack everything up. Let's start hiking to the Jeep. Made it back to the Jeep, and I'm here to tell you it wasn't soon enough. I am flat starving, so I'm going to eat some lunch. Then I think what we're going to do is just kind of keep an eye out on a way out of here and see if we can find some water and pan that gravel out. All right, well, I'm going to have some lunch, and hopefully next time you see me, we'll have some water, and we'll check that gravel. I just found us this beautiful pond here to pan that gravel out in. The plan is I'm going to dump it in the big pan. I'll pan it down to just the concentrates. I'll dump that in a little pan. And then when we get it all down to concentrates, then we'll clean it up with the little pan. There is all kinds of quartz in the gravel. Okay, dump that in a little pan. Okay, our second one. Okay, let's pan her down. Last one. Well, now this one's got a little bit darker gravel in it. Okay, put it in the concentrate pan. And let's pan this out, see if there's any gold. Very little black sand, and what black sand we have is super fine. And there might be one microscopic speck. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's very little black sand and it is super fine. And there is one speck right there that you probably can't see Well, I got to be honest with you, that kind of surprised me. I thought sure we'd find a little bit of gold in there, but that black sand was so fine, so little of it, and the one piece of gold that was in there was, I mean, so small that you could barely make it out. So, you never know. Okay, well, it's late, so I'm going to pack everything up, clean the mud off my boots, jump in the Jeep, and I'll see you back at the house. Back at the house, and yep, it's the next day. Now, I've been thinking about that gravel we panned out, and, you know, I found 3 or 4, they weren't big pieces of gold, but I found 3 or 4 pieces of gold in that gravel. And my original thought was it was original gravel that they missed. Now I'm thinking it was gravel that got thrown out of the sluice box, because the fact that there's no fine gold, and I mean, what really got me is the black sand. Very little black sand. So that was not original gravel. I'm pretty sure of that. But we did bring home a piece of gold, so what do you say we throw that on a scale? See if that weighs. Okay, let's see if the scale moves. Oh, 0.16. Not much, but the scale did move, and we brought home some gold. Now, I'm kind of itching to get back up there. That area, I think they camped on that area when they were working that pit, because I mean, I literally could not put the loop down without it screaming on a piece of metal. So I want to get back up there. I think we're going to take the dual box unit, take the big rake, the magnet, and the screen, and just pick a spot, and we're just going to clean it, see what we can find as far as old artifacts and stuff goes. But also, I would like to get it clean enough that we can take the SDC and see if there's any pieces of gold in that. And who knows, we might even grab a chunk of that and pan it and see what that looks like, because I know that hasn't been disturbed. Okay, well, that's all I got on this one. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.